want to see small 1.5 kilogram robots kicking the absolute stuffing out of each other, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Bugglebots.
My name is Craig Jones from Stonehouse near Stroud. My robot is SCD and it's a multi-brain translational drift spinner. Multi-brains are not the most rapid at moving around things. They're quite slow to translate, so it is a case of pointing in the general direction and hope.
Chris Stanby, I'm from Berg, Staffordshire. My robot is Apex BW. It's an overhead bar spinner. Or what am I going to do to people? I'm going to rip them apart.
I'm here with SCD, or something completely different, and beetleweight Apex. First to SCD, Craig, tell me about SCD. What does it do?
Well, SCD will spin on the spot, but simultaneously changing the speed of the wheels, it will move around the floor. So it's kind of, as somebody explained to me earlier, it's like you're walking, but you're spinning on the spot at the same time.
Okay, so, and these blades, they're part of your spinner, so you're hoping these are going to chew into your opponent?
Absolutely. Try not to drop it.
What's your strategy for Apex, which looks quite scary?
It's a case of spin it up and run into it as hard as I can.
Good luck, Craig. And over to Chris. This is the beetleweight version of your heavyweight Apex.
Yep. Hopefully it's going to work as anywhere near as well without the exploding part.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it going to do what heavyweight Apex did and explode?
No, definitely not. I've changed everything I did with that robot. So it physically can't, it's all screwed in through the bottom. The bar can't come above the bolt anyway, so it's going to stay still.
What's your strategy against something completely different?
Pray that the bar spins.
Good luck. The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin.
And now for something completely different as it begins spinning maniacally. The bar spinner on Apex slowly coming up to speed.
This is going to be one of those fights where one big hit is going to change the entire course of the film. And the bar has stopped.
SCD closing in on a wounded-looking Apex. There!
A big hit.
SCD sent flying into the corner. Taking a few seconds to recover.
SCD is what's known as a multi-brain spinner.
Hit enabled.
Basically, its drive motors suddenly turn the whole robot into the weapon. But the thing is, you're spinning the whole robot, so the whole weight of the robot is the weapon.
It looks like a UFO out there on the arena floor, spinning madly.
Oh, but Apex is getting up to speed. Eventually,
The bars
sort of.
slowly twitching, turning. Come on.
Come on, Apex, live. Whereas SCD's spinning down.
The robot's spinning and the bar's not. He's
That's
built it
not.
backward.
Oh, SCD's okay. It's moving. SCD going in for an attack there.
Apex desperately
Oh.
trying to maneuver itself back into this fight.
Apex definitely having drive issues.
Look at the speed and the power of SCD. It looks frightening, doesn't it? Creeping slowly toward Apex.
That looks absolutely fantastic. I love how the SCD looks. I'm really, really loving it.
The crowd getting into the spirit of things.
Crowd likening SCD to a robotic Hoover.
Another gigantic gash cut into the side of Apex, the beetleweight machine out there, desperately trying to get its weapon working.
For marketing reasons, other versions of robotic Hoovers are available.
But they don't look this stylish.
No, they don't, and they don't look this terrifying either. If you notice on SCD, those blue lights are actually spelling out its name.
Oh, that's clever, as the two...
Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh! What a devastating blow there.
I think that hit has actually damaged part of the side of Apex beetleweight size, because you notice it's no longer driving on one side.
But is it moving outside of its circumference?
He is, but he's crabbing across the arena, so he is technically still mobile.
That's
but
what the judges are paying attention to at the moment.
SCD getting up to speed again, and another hit.
Just a glancing blow. They're teasing us now. They're toying with Apex.
Well, you notice the plastic that Apex is made of. It's very, very resilient. It's a material called HDPE. High-density polyethylene. Very good for absorbing impact.
Another slam there.
9.
Now the bar spins up.
It's the curse of the Danbies in full effect again as the fight comes to a close.
What a shame for Chris Danby.
What happened when your robot was working, the spinner wasn't, and when the robot wasn't working, the spinner was?
Yeah, that's because it's Apex and my luck. I think, to be fair, I think what's happened is one of the wires has actually come loose on one of the motors. So that's why I've lost drive. Spinner, no idea.
I mean, you did quite well to hang in there, because they hit you a few times.
Yeah. Spin machine by myself on a manual mill, so it's going to be tough.
Cool.
It's just whether or not I can get things working properly.
So do you reckon you can get both parts working for the loser's melee?
I hope so. I hope so.
We'll look forward to it. Give it up for Apex! Well done, first of all.
Thank you.
It's really impressive. The lights going on around the outside. Is that supposed to display a message of some?
Yeah, it spells out SCD when it's spinning up to full speed.
Ah, there we go. That's really cool. You seem to be able to withstand both the opponent's hits and your own, which is important for a big spinner. Do you fancy your chances? Do you think you can maybe go?
That's given me a bit more confidence to maybe win a few more.
Good. Well, we will see you in the semi-final, and hopefully it will continue. Give it up for SCD!
Well, I've got to find out if it's a wire that's come loose first. If it is, that's an easy fix. Just a 2-second solving job. Straighten this up, and it should be good to go again.
My name is Charlie Dangerfield. I'm from North Wales, and my robot is the Berg, which is a drum spinner. The plan is just to smash the living hell out of them, just full on, drum spinning, full speed, and just take them out, take off wheels, take off the sides. It's not going to happen, but we can dream.
I'm Gus Collier from Derby. My robot is Big Wedge Energy, and it's a wedge. Well, this robot is designed to destroy spinners, so the strategy is going to be, against a big spinner, drive at it.
I'm here with Big Wedge Energy and the Berg. First to Big Wedge Energy with Gus. This is your first build in the beetleweight class?
Yep, not done anything before this one, so first time driving any competition with it as well.
Oh, so it's untested in battle?
Mostly.
What inspired you to build this? And what is this?
That's to stop it from sitting on the wedge at the front, so it doesn't break.
What's your strategy with the Berg?
Well, he can't actually hit me as long as I'm head-on with him, so I should be able to push him around with some luck.
And then hopefully get him in the pit?
Hopefully.
Well, good luck. Over to the Berg. Charlie, tell me about the Berg.
It's interesting. It's something. It spins and it will lose everything.
That's not good fighting talk. Come on.
No.
Believe.
Okay, I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to get that horrible robot and hit it so hard it's going to hit straight through the wall.
These guys know what they're doing, honestly. Well, good luck to both teams. The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin.
And can that big wedge of Big Wedge Energy stand up to the might of the Berg?
Big Wedge Energy there. That solid front end will be designed purely to resist.
Listen to that.
Oh, and it's working. The Berg just but a big hit from the Berg on Big Wedge Energy's front.
Sent flying backwards. They're desperately trying to get around the sides. Attack it from there. Avoid that deadly weapon on the front. Oh, flip itself over.
And now it's stuck. He's caught. If you look at the back, you can see that his actual removable link is holding his wheels off the ground.
How unfortunate. That was a slow gyro dance of doom.
Nice win for Big Wedge Energy there.
There's no point activating the pet, surely. You've already won.
This is
Wasted energy.
humiliation now. This is the humiliation factor.
Don't do this!
How unfortunate.
Humiliation factor of I can't drive my own robot.
Go on. Done you go. That's it. Over and out.
Right, so I think there's something wrong with one wheel. I think it's out a bit far, but I think we won that really well there. The judges are completely stupid. We dominated that battle from the offset.
You know. Right.
I've had enough of this whole production already. It's a fix, and there's clearly a conspiracy against me already.
Their bark. All I can say is their bark is significantly worse than their bite. So that was pretty straightforward. Yeah, you got them upside down. You took your sweet time putting them in the pit, but you got there in the end.
Precision control with this robot's not exactly easy, but I can make some adjustments on the transmitter and have it sorted out, hopefully.
Cool. You did take one hit from the spinner. Is that encouraging for future fights if you come up against more spinners?
Doesn't look like they did anything.
That can only be good then. Right, so we'll see you in the semi-finals. Give it up for Big Wedge Energy!
Well, our link's in kind of the wrong place, and when we're the other way up, it stops us from being able to move properly.
Right.
So we're basically just going to move the link, and then we're basically invertible. So that'll be alright.
Hi, I'm Chris Ari, captain of Team Luna, and our robot is Clause 2. We're going to grab the opposition and stick our claws in them.
Hello there, I'm Owen. I'm from Galway, Ireland. My robot is Léim. It is a spring flipper. It's meant to just show that spring flippers can work. I'm going to be relying a lot on a very robust build and very good driving, and see just how far I can get in this.
I'm here with Léim and Klaus 2. First to Léim, which has come all the way from Ireland. Owen, tell me about this unique flipper.
Right, so a lot of flippers would usually be powered by a servo or with gases like pneumatics. This is a bit different. It's powered by a spring, so all of the force comes from a spring. So I have a servo that winds up a spring mechanism, and then it releases, which flings things up into the air, hopefully. I think it's a unique design, and it's one that's hard to design for, really, to get effective at this weight class. I'm not sure how effective I've been, but it's definitely able to do something, so I'm happy with that.
And is the flipper your self-righting mechanism as well?
It's meant to be. I actually tested it properly only a few days ago. It actually cannot self-right, which is a bit of a shame. I thought it would, so I've just got to be a bit more careful when driving around.
So let's hope Klaus 2 doesn't get you over. So over to Klaus 2. Dad Chris and daughter Felicity, who will be driving. Tell us about Klaus 2, Dad.
The reason why Clause 2 is Felicity here. She built Clause 1 about 12 months ago. Wasn't much of a bit of an experimental build, and I promised her that I'd build a competitive beetle weight claws that would work. Hence, we now have much beefier armour, nice sharp claws to grab things, and the drive should be strong enough to, once we get hold of people, push them into the pit.
What's your strategy against Léim?
Find somewhere we can dig those claws in, overpower his motors, push them in the pit. Simple as.
Well, good luck driving, Felicity. Good luck to both teams. The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin.
In comes the spring-loaded lifter of Léim, if I can actually find its target in Clause 2.
Clause 2 driving around there, trying to keep the front of Clause 2 aimed, and there we go. Putting it in. Felicity, 13 years old, is one of the more experienced drivers of this competition. She actually drives the featherweight Lunatic, which was done quite well at various competitions this year.
Léim up onto the claws there, we saw of Clause 2. Come on, boys.
Léim got the front underneath, but
Pit
unfortunately the
enable.
flipper didn't seem to do anything. I don't know whether it wasn't charged. or if it just wasn't firing. I don't know. I need to look into that.
Léim, you're letting the side down, lads. Come on.
Felicity, in the meanwhile, just keeping on top of things, pushing hard, trying to get in underneath Léim, which seems to be succeeding quite well.
And don't forget, the pit release tower is active now, so either one of these machines could go for it and try and push the other one down into the pit.
Felicity seems to be doing slightly on top. She's not getting as many grips as she would like.
Are we going to see the flip from
flip?
Léim? No.
It's like that, right? Does someone want to explain to this guy what the flip is actually supposed to do?
I think it's best just to try and not explain anything to him at this point. He's in his own world now.
He's in his own world. Unfortunately, his own world didn't come with passport control. Right. He seems to be trying to get round the side and put clause 2 on its side. Now, if you look, clause 2 is keeping that very low front edge right in front of Léim. So every time he charges at her, he's raking straight up the front.
It's negating that flipping weapon of Léim, which we haven't seen
Very good driving.
Used once.
What flipper? I'm sorry, but there's nothing happening. It's a spring-loaded flipper.
It's loaded with something, all right.
It couldn't look. It like they'd struggle to flip a pancake. Clause 2 is doing a lot of the aggression, but Clause 2 seems to be having difficulty on one of its drive wheels. I don't know if you're seeing that.
1 minute remaining.
Seems to be always very much leading with one side. There we go. A nice solid push from Clause 2, getting into the clause.
It's a very tentative battle, this one.
The claws on Clause 2 are not designed to actually damage. They're designed to hold on. It's what's called a control bot. The idea being is you control your opponent and move them around the arena.
Much like we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Where it's controlling Léim, who has been very lame throughout this fight, into the sidewall.
Léim doesn't appear to be working on one side as well. Now, if she can get him against the wall, it could end up with... Oh, and they jump together? Nope, they managed to come apart. Claws getting in there, driving it backwards. And you notice the power on Clause 2. That's purely because it's got the traction on the ground when it grips on. Because Léim has nothing there, and she can just drive him back wherever she wants.
Oh, come on, folks. Someone go for the pit.
This is going to go at the judges, and if it was up to me, I'd say Clause, but we'll
Clause
see how
2,
it goes.
Definitely for me.
Stop and deactivate
the
robots.
more aggressive and the more controlled.
Good driving from both teams there.
There's even Parkman for us at the end of the fight.
Right, so I'll talk to you while the judges make their decision. We'll call that a war of attrition, we think. How do we feel about that then?
Yeah, well, that was a little disappointing, I gotta say. The weapon didn't work. It flailed around a bit. I was driving decently for a bit. I think one of the wires must have caught one of the drive wheels and stopped it driving.
You did seem to be kind of flopping about a bit. Is that what it's supposed to do, or is...
In theory, no. I had a few different ideas of how I could drive it. That was not one of them. It was a good fight, at least.
Cool. Let's go talk to Klaus. How did that go for you then?
I think that went pretty well. Safe lasted the full 3 minutes. Got loads of grabs, pushing about into the wall lots of times. I think she did pretty well. It's gone to the judges, obviously, but
did you not think about maybe going for the pit release?
Did you?
Okay, so the judges have made their decision. They're judging on damage, control, and aggression. And they have decided who is going through the semi-final. It is Clause 2! Very, very well done, guys. We'll see you in the semi-finals. And we'll see you in the losers melee. You're not out yet. All right, give it up for both teams. So, Ian, what do we make of that then?
It was a very interesting battle. I know that Léim's got a very simple but effective spring weapon on the front, but unfortunately could not get under Clause 2 really. And then Clause 2 gradually established control, very well driven towards the end. It's nicely done.
Excellent. Agree with all that, Kane?
Absolutely. Got to reiterate the driving control there was very, very good, keeping on top of the fight. The weapons on either machine weren't very effective, but they were scoring points.
Yeah, they were like the weapons weren't going, but they still kept up the aggression all the way through, and that's what it's about, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Staying on top, being aggressive, and controlling the fight.
Excellent. Anita, now that was your kind of fight. You know, the full 3 minutes.
The full potential of the arena. So for the next fight, I would say.
Would you have liked to have seen the pit get used?
Of course, but that's a clear win.
No,
when you are able to push your opponent, to grab your opponent and push it into the pit, that's a clear win. So that would be.
Well, we'll see if Klaus does that in the semi-final, or indeed if Léim does it in the melee. Well, thank you very much, judges.
I seem to have lost the drive on one side, so I need to fix that. The link also came done at the very end. Mostly, it should still be working, just a lot of polishing up to do, really. Get it fighting fit again.
We are ready for the redemption melee with the Berg, Apex, and Léim. Berg, this is a little wider than I remember it being.
We have to make modifications for Apex because Apex would... No, it wouldn't actually. It wouldn't go through us because we're invincible. But in the event that they could potentially go through us, which is 0 out of 10 chance of happening, we've added these to protect us in an event that won't ever happen. Better safe than sorry.
Because your last fight didn't go according to plan. You were up against a wedge and you got out-wedged.
That's not true. No, it's a conspiracy. Everyone's against us, we can tell. Since we walked in this building, no one's liked our robot because of the eyes. But it'll be okay, because we're going to win this and then we're going to win the Olympic Games.
Good luck with both of those. Apex, that didn't go well for you. Your last battle, did it?
No, not at all. It sucks.
What happened?
Well, one of the wires from one of the drive motors just broke loose, and the spinner is either too tight or too slack, and it's trying to find that balance.
Yeah, because 1 minute the drive was working and the spinner wasn't, and then the spinner was working and the drive wasn't.
Yeah, that's my luck apparently. So hopefully it's working now, but you know, my luck may also just continue.
Well, good luck. Léim, you were up against Klaus too, went to the judges, and they went for Klaus. Very good driving from Felicity. How did you feel that fight went for you?
It didn't go well for me, mainly because the weapon was not effective at all, and I did lose drive on one side. I am happy that it lasted a full 3 minutes, so I at least know the batteries work, which is good enough. I'm actually looking forward to this fight because even though the weapon isn't as effective as I was hoping for, it's actually built very strongly, very sturdily, and I want to test it out. I want to test it out against the Berg and against Apex. I want to take the hits. I want to overpower them with better driving. I shouldn't lose a wheel this time, and I'm going to hope to try to get out of the redemption in one piece, hopefully.
What have you changed for this battle?
So I found out that the reason that one of the wheels died on me was that a grub screw came loose, so I fixed that. Also, the wires inside, it was a bit of a bodge job with the wiring, and they were actually catching on to the motors and wheels. So I've added on some very high-tech duct tape, and that should hopefully keep the wires from getting into anything dangerous.
Good old duct tape, the staple of all roboteers. Well, the robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin.
It's a cluster shambles of an affair here, but Apex's bar, you can see in the bottom corner, is working.
Apex is spun up. That's always a dangerous situation.
Apex almost catapulting itself up and over.
That noise is Apex weapon. I don't know if you can hear it.
Liam's still looking quite lame. There's the disrespectful Berg team. We have Tim on standby to escort them out should they make any more crude comments. Unfair? Of course it's not unfair. This is Bugglebots.
We're totally unbiased. Go Apex.
That's right.
Oh! And a big hit there from Apex on Léim. The Berg flopping about there.
Good to see that bar working as the pick goes down.
I'm sorry, the Berg looks like something you use to score shoes on.
Léim has the Berg on the edge and down. It takes a massive slam from Apex in the process.
Apex wedge in the corner. That's good to Léim because it means the bar can't spin. But
one good flip here could send Apex over and out.
The bar's taking a long time to spin up again. Could the weapon have died on Apex?
Weapon's going mental.
The spinning bar of Apex.
Apex
Is it moving?
still having a lot of drive issues.
Spin up.
Liam, did it have a weapon to begin with?
Come on.
Léim Giving Apex a chance to spin up. Now, I don't know if that's a good idea.
The drive on Apex seems a little suspect.
The crowd a little disappointed.
Okay, everything is
slowly but surely.
Apex spinning up so slowly it could be classed as a
entanglement device at this point.
I've seen washing lines that spin faster than that.
Slowly but surely, the helicopter-style blade spinning up, but negated every single time that it comes in for a hit on Léim.
If Apex was a helicopter, I'd get the bus everywhere.
As opposed to getting helicopters everywhere, which you usually do.
You know, it's a luxurious life we lead as a commentator.
It was working for a while, and now it's not working again.
So the Léim is trying very hard to get lined up. That spring flipper that just it just doesn't work. It's a great concept, but
slowly but surely bashing into one another. It was a great concept, as you were saying, but in practice, it's left a lot to be desired. You can also see it rearing up every single time that it moves, so completely makes that front flipping panel on Léim totally useless.
Yep, getting close to the pit
Skirting
now.
toward the edge of devastation.
What we have now is aggressive cuddling now more than actual fighting.
Just a little bit of sparring. They went for the count out there.
So Apex trying to demonstrate that it's still moving in a controlled fashion, whereas Léim appears to be stuck on the floor. I'm not sure.
I think I've worked out what's wrong with Léim. Every single time the drive works, the flipper doesn't, and vice versa.
Apex might actually go through with this by the skin of his teeth. He does. A win for Apex with a last-second count-out on Léim.
It was very impressive early on, but as the fight wore on, so did the robots wear down and out.
Team Berg, it was going so well, and then you ended up in the pit. What happened?
If I was a liar, I'd say I died on one side and I wasn't driving very well. However, I am not a liar, so we won that match really well.
Very strong performance.
Techno Games this year has been brilliant, and
if it was a race into the pit, you won that.
No, me, you outside in 5 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've got Tim on my side, so I'll just tag him in. Tim, I think we need this man removed. Oh, there we go. I would say give it up for Team the Berg, but yeah, go on.
Right.
Léim, you were hanging in there so well. What happened?
It seems like the same thing that happened last time, that I thought I'd fixed it. I was doing really well. Then the weapon just lost control and it just kept firing. Then the right wheel went, and then the left wheel seemed to go right at the very end there.
I did enjoy it, how your weapon was kind of going on a cycle, basically counting itself out along with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it shows if it was working, that's a lot of flips per second, you know, so that's...
well, it's 1 per second. That's it's how it works out.
That's the main priority. Sorry, get a spring-powered flipper that can self-right, and then get one that can actually flip another machine, and then...
So get a flipper that works,
basically. I have a long list, okay?
That's all right. Well, we'll leave you to tend to that. Everybody give it up for Léim! Let's talk about that heart-in-our-mouth moment at the start of the fight, where your robot started spinning up and kind of started doing a little bit of breakdancing. Were we having flashbacks there, Mr. Danby?
I can't say it was particularly pleasant. I have to say, the first time I ever built a Beetle Apex, it was about a year before the big one. It did exactly the same thing.
But you came through it, and you're back in the semi-finals. You were excited about that then?
Yeah, definitely. Wasn't expecting that. It's still not doing what I want it to. It's actually spinning now, which helps. But
when you're a spinner, that really does help.
It does. You know, it's a slight design flaw if the spinner doesn't always work.
Well, it did, and it's got you through at the semi-finals. Give it up for Apex!
It makes an evil noise when it's spun up. It's brilliant. It's awesome. Literally, it's so loud. The drum, one of the studs catches on the HDPE in just the right way that it makes a really loud noise.
The tensioner got so hot it melted the plastic, so I have to put something completely different in for it to work properly.
So I do know, Rose.
This is just me trying to
She's moved into a new
not burn myself.
I'm here with SCD, which is next going up against Big Wedge Energy. How are you feeling about this fight?
Not entirely confident about this. Wedges are the horizontal spinner's worst enemy, so I'm not too sure about this one.
You beat Apex. That was a good win. How do you feel about that?
I think that was pretty good. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to win that one, so I was pretty happy with that win.
What's your tactic for defeating the Wedge?
Spin up and hit it as hard as I can, and hope something breaks.
Good luck. I'm here with Big Wedge Energy, which just beat the Berg. How do you feel about beating the Berg?
Oh, I'm stoked about that. I'm so happy. I mean, it could have been a better victory. The fight could have gone on longer, but I'm happy I won.
So wedges, especially ones this hard, are kind of the nemesis of spinners, and you're up against a Melty, which is almost a full body spinner, but it's Melty. How are you feeling? You should be feeling confident for this fight, I'm guessing, because your wedge is pretty tanky.
Yeah, I suspect that I can just bonk him off the arena sidewall and something will break or he'll fly into the pit on his own accord.
Well, good luck. The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. Three, 2, 1, begin.
So one silly named robot picking on another silly named robot.
SCD wants to spin up really quickly here. Big Wedge Energy wants to keep that nice hard wedge points to SCD all the time.
Oh, and that was a huge slam there.
Hopefully absorbing the impact and meaning that SCD doesn't actually damage the sides.
Something completely different. It's certainly looking like it. It's hockey pucking itself around the arena now.
If we could set this up right, we could have a lovely game of pinball.
Big Wedge Energy looking to puck it across the arena.
Big Wedge Energy now going for the pit button, pit release. This is a bad situation for SCD.
One wrong move, they could catapult themselves across the arena and down into the murky depths of our pit. And so could Big Wedge Energy.
He would have been in trouble if he did that wrong.
They're dancing away from oblivion. Another massive slam.
Speed of SCD at full power is incredible.
It goes to show the resilience of both these machines. They can take the knocks and still come back strong.
Well, it's the one thing you have to remember. With these big spinners, they have to be designed to not only give out the big hits.
Big Wedge Energy almost down the pit.
Big Wedge Energy is skirting with death over there.
Desperately looking to try and control something completely different. Try and
Something
stop the
completely
spinning.
different. Every time Big Wedge Energy moves off, it's giving him a time to spin up and store more energy in his hits.
And that's what we're seeing there, deflecting away any of those controlled pushing attacks from Big Wedge Energy.
You can see the marks from on the front of Big Wedge Energy, but it's stopped.
8. And what a shocker that is.
6.
The impacts have gone right through the system and have broken
3,
something.
2, 1. Eliminate.
There's no energy left in that Big Wedge.
The best noise I've heard all weekend.
Well, it's just hard luck, that, isn't it? I think you were on top there. You were beating him up. He was bouncing all around the arena, and you just stopped. What happened?
Well, on a good hit that he got on me, the link which joins the battery to the rest of the robot just popped out.
Oh, that's a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah, safety rules.
I mean, also, I do want to. I've got a query about your driving. So you see that big hole in the arena?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to go in there or near it.
I was having a bit of trouble with drive. When it was set off, it would lurch over to one side, so it tended to be a bit funny.
Just very near the pit. I mean, it gave us, a bit of drama, but right, can we go on? Give it up for Big Wedge Energy. Have you got away with one there?
Yeah.
Good. We like an honest man. You were able to take a lot of hits though.
Yeah, it did take a lot of hits and bounced around quite a lot. I wasn't expecting to do quite so well, I'll be honest.
Well, you're in the heat final after all that. I just want to ask, so that thing, it just spins around on the spot and moves there. Is that quite difficult to drive?
It's fairly difficult to drive. It takes quite a knack to point it in the right direction, to point it at things you want to attack.
Well, you certainly did that well enough today, and we'll see you in the heat final, yeah? All right, everybody, give it up for SCD!
How's it still working? Hasn't been bounced around quite as much as it was. Yeah, I'm kind of very glad to have won, but I did not expect to win at all. It's not even remotely.
I'm back with Klaus 2, which has just defeated Léim. How are you feeling about that win?
Pretty good. It was a nice little pushing fight, and thankfully we've got a fair few claws in and managed to push them about. We didn't go for the pit because we were sort of looked like we were winning the attrition fight. If we opened the pit, it's sort of free card. Felicity could have accidentally drove in, so we thought keep the pit up. So we were confident we would win. Thankfully, we did.
So you're up against Apex next, which, although it's scary, it's not been working reliably. So how do you feel about this fight?
Apex, no matter what size it is, when it's working, it's scary. When it doesn't work, you're quite happy to face it. I've been helping Chris fix it in the pits, and it should work. If it does, we might win, we might not. I don't know.
Well, good luck, guys. Good luck for your driving. I'm with Apex, which has just come up from the Redemption melee. How are you feeling about that win?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's just to be able to get a win when it's not working 100%. Just having the bar spin was actually a really good thing.
I mean, yeah, we got to see it spin. It is looking nasty. Is it working again, ready for its fight against Klaus 2?
I hope so. I've had to make quite a big alteration with the tensioners because it went very slack. I found out that it actually got so hot it melted the plastic underneath.
Are you worried about Felicity? She's a very good driver despite her age.
She's vicious. Anybody who doesn't take any, give credit to people who can drive well, then they need to look at themselves properly. Good driver can beat any weapon. So of course I go into this knowing anything can happen. I'm going in to win, but I'm up against a good robot and a good team.
Good luck, Chris.
Thank you.
The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. 3, 2, 1, begin.
That bar spinner of Apex slowly spinning up as Klaus 2 tries to come in and tries to stop that bar from getting up to speed.
I think the big thing for me in this fight is Apex going to get up to speed? If Apex gets up to speed, Klaus will have a really hard time getting near him.
That one nut on the top of Apex there, perhaps a little bit too tight because the bar's just not spinning up.
It's just not getting any going at all.
Pit
That's the
enabled.
pit activated, which could mean...
And will Klaus 2 go for the pit this time?
A good
That's
question.
the question.
No, but Apex has, which is interesting because in paper, Apex actually doesn't have as powerful a drive as Klaus, and it's not really designed for pushing. Apex, the whole point of Apex is to mobilize that bar. And if that bar's not spinning, Apex is at a massive disadvantage.
Especially when it's up that ramp on Klaus 2, which it is now.
Ooh. Klaus 2 showing why Felicity, is such a good driver. 13 years of age, and she makes genuine competitors from Robot Wars deeply concerned. Never underestimate her because she can outdrive a lot of very good drivers in this.
And the concerns of Chris Danby definitely raised now. What else has he got left here?
Not really very much. The full front of Apex is flat, whereas if you look on the front of Klaus, it's got that wedged angle.
And they're very, very close to the pit now. And some very precise driving needed from Klaus to carry Apex down into the pit. There it is.
That is a win for Klaus.
Fantastic driving.
Well, it's finally over.
I kind of suspected that what happened was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think I've been having issues with the weapon shaft all day, and I think when I've tried to spin the weapon, it's just tightened too much and it's seized.
Well, you didn't roll over. You know, you gave him a good pushing match in the end, didn't you?
I certainly tried. There's absolutely no drive power in those motors, so
you did all right to last as long as you did.
Absolutely, you know, it's not that type of robot.
And you went out in the best way possible in the pit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than going through a arena wall. So,
give it up for Apex. Very excellently driven. Really, really good stuff. I love that little kind of like you're dancing around at the edge of the pit. Did that feel good?
Yeah, it felt pretty good. Shame we couldn't get Apex's bar working properly. I've helped him try getting it working, but obviously it just wasn't to be. We sort of knew his drive motors weren't as powerful as Klaus 2, so it's sort of happy it wasn't working, because I think if it was working, it would have gone straight through the wedge and the side, and there wouldn't have been much left. But no, it was a good little pushing match. Opened the pit, and obviously there's always that nervous sort of, will we accidentally drive down the pit ourselves? But no, she did really well, really pleased, and it's still working, which is fantastic.
All right, so we'll see you in the heat final. Give it up for Klaus 2!
I hung in way longer than I was expecting to. And Felicity's such a good driver. It's, you know, I thought I was going down the pit a lot earlier than I actually did. So
when Apex is working, whatever weight class it is scary. So the only tactic with anything like that is just box rush it, which she did fantastically.
We're ready for the heat final, and I'm here with SCD, which has just beaten Big Wedge Energy. That was quite a tense fight. It looked at first like Big Wedge Energy was going to have you, but then you got his link out.
Yeah, I managed to nick out something important, so a win.
How are you feeling about going up against Klaus 2? Because it's not the most destructive robot, but it's very well driven.
That's true. And again, it's another wedge type, the mortal enemy of horizontal. But it's very well driven, so I'm not quite sure about this fight. I don't know how well it will go.
So have you got a tactic for this, or just going to wing it?
Probably what I tried against the last opponent is to spin it up to full, and hopefully something will break.
Good luck, Craig. And now I'm here with Klaus 2, who's just defeated Apex. How are you guys feeling about defeating Apex?
Well, pretty good, to be honest. Apex is one of those machines, when it's working, it can do some serious damage, but they have been plagued with problems. Even the heavyweights and the featherweight, I was plagued with problems. I was trying to help Chris, the driver, get it fixed. We thought we had it working. It did work to a point, but Felicity was able to get to the Apex, stop them spinning up, keep that disc low, which is the only way to defeat them.
So you're up against SCD, but wedges are kind of the mortal enemy of the horizontals. So are you feeling reasonably confident about this?
We have a game plan. Obviously, I'm not going to say much in case Craig hears me, but trouble is, you don't want to go into a fight too confident. I mean, I've done that before, thinking I was going to win, and I didn't. So you want to be quietly confident, yes, but not so much that you think you're going to win, because if you look too far ahead, once you get in the arena, anything can happen.
Well, good luck, Chris. Good luck driving, Felicity. The robots are ready. Let's get them to the arena.
Roboteers, get ready. Three, 2, 1, begin.
It's going to be some battle, this one, and here comes the box rush from
SCD
Klaus
not
2.
spinning up, though. What's going on there? Oh, there we go.
It's almost like they're trying to claw their way along the side of the arena wall.
Something's not right there. SCD not spinning up. There we go.
Up to speed now.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Klaus 2.
Klaus needs to keep on them and keep them from spinning up.
It's a devastating weapon, but it's quite ponderous. They could just go for the pit release tower if it's
Not yet.
active
It's
yet.
not activated yet.
There we go.
Enabled.
Get off the pit, get off the pit.
Oh, how shocking would this be?
Oh, this
Down
is not going to go.
goes the pit any second now.
Jane's got to do it manually, hang on.
We're having some slight technical problems. There goes the pit.
Well, no, it's down now.
9.
Oh, Clause 2 is stuck.
7,
What's happened?
6, 5.
Oh, how disappointing.
All the time for it to happen.
They almost had them down the pit, but Clause 2 counted out.
Right, I'm told the judges have some thoughts about that fight.
Well, this was an odd fight because the pit release didn't actually activate when Clause 2 hit the button, which resulted in them going in again and apparently becoming stuck on the arena. SCD may have been pitted at that moment, which would have been an instant win for Clause 2.
I think they've both agreed to a rematch. I don't think they're even going to recharge. They're just going to carry on. So both very sportsmen of them. It's not easy reffing, as you know. But, yeah, you've got to do it.
All right, well, excellent. Right, so we're going to have a rematch, and that is... Yeah, come on!
Okay, so because of the arena failure, we're going to reset from your starting positions, as it would be unfair to start in the previous positions. 2 minutes on the clock, as that's what you had left when you were counted out originally.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go again, and once more, Clause 2 trying the box rush.
We're back on the restart. Clause 2 getting possibly one of the luckiest breaks in this entire competition. Ooh.
Let's see if they can use that to their advantage.
Clause 2 coming in there. Oh, another big hit from SCD.
SCD throwing itself across the arena more than Clause 2 at this point.
Clause 2 not working on one side there. It appears to be crabbing across. That's not a good sign. Has actually Clause 2 died?
What
9,
a shame.
8.
That is
a second bite of the cherry.
STD just hanging back.
Holding on.
She's done it. She's actually recovered.
Slowly but surely.
But there is definitely issues with that drive on Clause 2.
Something completely different now. Coming in to finish the job.
Up to speed. Getting some hits on the front.
With some light love taps there.
All it's going to take is one big hit from SCD. But, as I was saying earlier, SCD has to survive its own hits. It's dishing out the same amount of damage as it gives out to itself.
Oh! And as we saw there, even though it managed to take a massive chunk there, a massive bite, into the front of Clause 2, it also threw itself into the sidewall.
You'll notice the claws on Clause 2 are now bent up out of shape. It's definitely getting purchased.
Just a little off the side.
All it's going to take is one errant big hit and it could knock itself out. So he has to be careful how he hits her.
We're into the last 10 seconds of this fight. It's been quite a ponderous one, I'll have to say.
You can see where the side panel's bent in on the wheel of Clause 2.
Stop and deactivate robot.
That's it, it's over. It goes to the judges.
It was some brilliant defensive driving with only half a robot.
The side armour may be stopping the wheel from turning, but you know, if you wiggle the sticks, you can sort of arc it and round, which is what she was doing. Keeping the wedge pointed at the big spinny thing. Took the hits well. No obvious winner. We'll see what happens with the judges.
That fight is like the slow advance of like an ominous alien predator stalking its prey. But you didn't get a chance to land the killing blow. Were you struggling to get around the side?
Well, it doesn't translate fast enough to get around the side, and with some very, very good driving, managed to keep the wedge pointed towards me, so there was I couldn't get around the sides to take a hit.
Is this another bit of a controversial reprieve for you after your last fight against Big Wedge Energy?
I couldn't possibly say how this is going to go. I can't call that.
All right, so we've had a rematch. It's been dramatic. It's been controversial. And the judges have come to a unanimous decision. Judging on control, damage, and aggression, going through to the Bugglebots Grand Final is... Come on. SCD! Hard luck, guys, but you get to go through to the 5-way rumble, and so we might still see you in the grand final. You're gonna get all fixed up in time for that?
Yeah, looking at it now, just looks like one of the wheels jammed, so just straight out the armour, and we'll be back.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you in that, everybody. Clause 2! And so, you're through. You're in the grand final. How far can you go?
I'm speechless.
Well,
I didn't think I'd win that. Not at all.
you're through to the grand final, where there's some big nasty bots coming up, and so we'll see how you stack up against them. Everybody, SCD! To say that was a dramatic end to the episode would be an understatement, so we're going to see you next time, right? This has been Bugglebots.
It basically hits things with a metal bar. Basically all it can do, aside from kill itself.
I've got a pretty powerful drive system, I've got a lot of traction, it's a purely control fight for me.
I have a beta spinner. My approach to a fight is going to be your face, my face.
I, Captain Sir Lancelot, is going to hit you, flip you, and then leave you packing.
Hammer onto them, pierce their top armor, life was always a nice target.
The aim is just to get under them, flip them over, chop into the top of them.
So this is where Sir Lancelot... Oh!